All right, we are now being live stream on YouTube. Welcome. I'm Paul Sugarman. This is the Instant Shakespeare Company, and we have a very special presentation today, a reading of The Blood Wedding by Federico Garcia Lorca, translated by Eduardo Perez. And Stephen Brown has put this reading together, and very excited about this. So over to you, Stephen.
Thank you very much. I have to say that we will go through the cast list and have everybody introduce themselves before we actually start the reading in a few minutes. But first, I'm going to ask Eduardo if he would like to talk about his original translation and the production that he did of this several years ago, and the bilingual and the musical version they did, because it's very interesting. Eduardo?
For sure. Hi, I'm Eduardo. I translated / adapted this show. Basically, I was in grad school. I was in a part of a theater group, and I was like, and they needed a director. They need someone to direct something. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, if I were to direct, what would I want to direct? And I remembered reading this play in high school and really loving it. So I just went back and like read through it. And as I read through it, I found myself sort of, when I read plays, I like to read them aloud because from like an actor's perspective. So I found myself as I was reading, particularly La Madre's lines, I was reading them with a Hispanic accent. Like I looked up a translation. I didn't end up liking that translation, but I looked up a translation, I read it, and La Madre's lines, I was like speaking them in a Hispanic accent. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, where is this going? And essentially, the reason that happened, I think, is because La Madre feels like a very classically literary Hispanic character, where she's like a matriarch who's like very grounded and very like everyone has their roles, like this is your role, like you don't really have a choice, and it doesn't come from like an evil place or anything. It's like, if you've seen the movie Encanto, you know this, like the matriarch, it's like that character is like very Hispanic, very like, you have your role, and like sort of like blindsided, like, oh, it doesn't matter what you want or what you think, like what matters is like your societal role. So it felt like a very Hispanic character to me, and sort of like as I sort of built out the world in my mind of what this play could be, it sort of came to me like, oh, okay, why would they be speaking English if this is like taking place in Hispanic community? It's like, oh, okay, that's why. It's because it's like an immigrant family. So like the madre, the novio are like an immigrant family. And I modeled so like the madre has like Hispanic accent and speaks like a lot of her lines in the original Spanish. And the novio is the son of the madre, who doesn't speak any Spanish in the entire show, but understands all of it. And I modeled that basically after like my cousins who like live in the States, and sort of like you see their conversations with their parents, and their parents will speak to them in Spanish and they'll speak back in English. And yeah, so that's sort of like the germ. And then I started like bringing in other characters, like La Vecina was like this chismosa who's like looking like the gossip, and was like, oh yeah, she's friends with the mother. She's like also probably like this other Hispanic lady and yeah, so like I started building people into this sort of idea, and yeah, and then that's sort of where it came from. That's where like the whole thing came from. And I had a hard time like finding translations that I liked. So I just decided to just like translate it myself. And just this is sort of what came out. And yeah, and I really liked it. The production itself.
Talk about the music. Tell us about the music and the production.
So for the music, so the original play has music in it. Like it doesn't come with a score, but there are like songs in it. And what I did was I got a composer friend of mine to compose music, and I had an idea for what I wanted for the music, and I sent him sort of like songs that so like I want it to sound like this. So for example, the wedding song is sort of like the celebratory like, oh, like bring out the bride, whatever. And I modeled that after like the Hispanic parranda, which is like, it's like Christmas carols, but like Hispanic, and they're like not specific Christmas, sort of like very lively and very instrumental and very upbeat. And, you know, for the leñadores, like I was like, you know, it's like, basically it's like a lumberjacking song. And yeah, so I just had him compose that by like providing examples of sort of like what I wanted it to sound like and look like. And I, honestly, like the same thing happened with the costumes, where I like a talented costume person who I was like, this is what Hispanic people dress like. So go off, and they did a fantastic job. Unfortunately, I have nothing to show you about that. I do not remember the music. It was like years ago, and I do not remember the costumes. I don't have pictures, but I promise it was good.
Okay, do you want to go on and talk about the poetry, you know, and perhaps even the differences in Spanish as opposed to English? Especially as we were talking just before we started here about the difference between the prose sections and the heightened poetic sections, the ones which in your translation you actually have in colored text. You know, the font is different color when it becomes heightened.
Yeah.
And how you feel that ought to be approached.
Yeah, so the ones that are blue are songs, but there is like a lot of like poetry, particularly in Act 3. Sort of like, you know, Acts 1 and 2 are very like true to life and just like very grounded, and they're like very much the mother's like acts. And then in Act 3, it like all goes to hell because Leonardo decided that fire was the element of this play. And yeah, so it like becomes very heightened, very poetic. Like the moon and death become characters, which is not like a thing that like the first two acts of the show are just, again, very like true to life. And yeah, for me,
can we just go back to the characters as you've raised the issue? Can you just talk about the characters of the moon and death? I mean, do you see them as something special, you know, something out of, you know, a modern fantasy movie, or do you just see them as regular people who have come to do their regular job? You know, the moon goes to work every day.
Yeah, for me, so how I envisioned them, I guess, is the moon and death are literally the moon and death. They're not people, they are the moon and they are death. So the character of La Mendiga is like this old woman. The reason that she's this old woman is because she's seen it all. Like, and she's like a very relaxed, like, I mean, you know, actors can vary on their whatever, but how I viewed it was that the like death is very like relaxed, and she's sort of like playing with it, and she's like learned to have her fun, but it's like very subtle. It's like, you know, little puns here and there about like, oh, wouldn't you like to lie down forever? And it's just sort of like kind of playing with it. Whereas the moon is like this like vibrant, but very cold, like I'm so cold, I want blood, like, and like this hunger for death. So it's like two different views of like death, essentially. One is like very accepting and very like, you know, it'll happen eventually and you sort of have to go with it. And the other one is like very active and very like gut, like very from the gut, very like, yeah. So that's how I view them. And it's like, again, it's literally the moon and literally death, but as personified people. Like people do interact with particularly death, and she's just like, yeah, this is fun, I'm having fun. Yeah.
Okay. I just said, Jesse or Lisa, do you have any questions on your characters?
So my question to Eduardo, when death first comes in and is named Mendiga, is she personifying an old woman at that point, or just when it turns over to her being called La Muerta?
I don't think she's ever called La Muerte, is she?
Oh.
Yeah, I think in the script she's always called Mendiga.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's sort of just understood that she's death.
Okay.
like la muerte is in parentheses in the explanation, just to make sure that you understand that you are dead. But
Okay.
yeah, but she's always la mendiga in the script, and it's because like to everyone else, she's just like this old beggar woman who's like being creepy.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Jesse, do you have any questions or are you okay?
I'm all right.
Okay.
I really like the explanation that Eduardo gave, because I was reading it and I was like, this seems very bloodthirsty. I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, great. At this point, does anybody else have any questions about the characters that they will be reading for Eduardo while we're talking about this? Okay, the others are all quite straightforward, although I have to say I do find the woodcutters, the leñadores, actually quite poetic in their own way. They do not remind me of the woodcutters that I knew in the Pacific Northwest. Anyway, at this point then, ladies and gentlemen, what I would like to do is if everybody can please turn to page 22 in the text, which is Act 2, Scene 1. And then when you are there, we can just scroll down to page 24. And we will start with Vicky. Vicky's line as the criada, wake up, young bride, awake, the wedding morn, the rivers. And I want to read I just literally would like to read through. Please do not feel you have to act. If you need to act, then go ahead and do so. But at the moment, what I just want to do is to run the line so that everybody knows, who is saying what line during this sequence. The one question I do have for Eduardo at this point is, we starting with the criado on page 24, the wake up, young bride, awake, the wedding morn. I feel that should be done rhythmically, as it is a song. How do you feel? Or should it be done prosaically? Yeah,
I mean, feel free for like the songs to like just come up with your own like song. It's fine. This is we're having fun here. But yeah, I think it's very clearly a song. It's not like she's not literally saying like wake up, young bride. Like she just had a conversation with her, and like the way that the criada is with the novia, it's like very much like we're having a party, it's your wedding, woohoo. So it's like she's starting that process of like, that ritual of like, oh, there's like a song and dance that we do as we take you to the church.
Okay, so Vicky, are you ready?
So we can phonate into a little tone?
Yeah, do a little ditty. It's fine. Like whatever you come up with, I'll be happy with. It'll be great.
Okay.
Okay. And this is basically just running lines. It is not giving a performance. Just understood. So, but if everybody could just stay with it so that we could get through this very quickly and make sure everybody understands. Okay, Vicky, go ahead.
Wake up, young bride, awake. The wedding morn, the rivers for your sake, a wreath have borne. Come on. Let her awake with the green branch of the laurel flowering. Let her awake with trunk and branch of the laurel towering.
Open it. That must be the first guest.
You?
Me, good morning.
The first?
Wasn't I invited?
Yes.
That's why I came.
And your woman?
I came on horseback. She's coming over the road.
You didn't run into anybody?
I passed them with the horse.
You killed the animal with such racing.
When it dies, it's dead.
Sit down. No one has gotten up yet.
And the bride?
I'm going to dress her right now.
The bride, she must be happy.
Where's the baby?
What baby?
Your son.
Oh.
Are they bringing him?
No.
Wake up, young bride, awake, the wedding morn.
Wake up, young bride, awake, the wedding morn.
It's the guests. They've still got a way to come.
The bride will wear a large wreath, won't she? It shouldn't be too big. A smaller one would suit her better. Has the groom already brought the orange blossom that she has to wear on her chest?
He brought it.
Don't come out like that.
What is it to you? Why do you ask if the orange blossom was brought? Do you have some purpose?
None. What purpose could I have? Knowing me like you do, you know I have none. Tell me, what was I to you? Think back, refresh your memory. But 2 oxen and a dingy sack are practically worthless. There's the rub.
Dingy, Alex. The word is dingy.
Dingy.
Yes.
Okay. Dingy.
Okay. Okay, go on.
What did you come here for?
To see your wedding.
I saw yours too.
Tied down by you, made with your 2 hands. I'm someone who can be killed, but I can't be spit on. And money, which glitters so much, sometimes spits.
Lies.
I don't want to talk because I'm a man of blood, and I don't want all these hills to hear my cries.
My cries would be louder.
These words can't go on. You don't have to talk about what's past.
You're right, I shouldn't even speak to you. But my soul boils at your coming to see me and spy on my wedding and asking purposefully questions about the orange blossom. Get out and wait for your wife at the door.
What, you and I can't talk?
No, you can't talk.
Day and night after my marriage, I have thought over whose fault it was. And every time I think about it, a new fault comes out and consumes the other. But there is always a fault.
A man with his horse knows a lot and can do a lot to try to trample down a girl stuck out in a desert. But I have my pride. That's why I'm getting married. I lock myself up with my husband, who I must love above everything.
Your pride isn't going to do you any good.
Stay away from me!
To keep quiet and burn oneself is the greatest punishment we can inflict on ourselves. What did it serve me, my pride, and not seeing you and leaving you lying awake night after night? Nothing. It served to pour fire on myself. Because you think that time mends and that walls hide. And it's not true. It's not true. When things get down into the core, nobody can tear them out.
I can't listen to you. I can't listen to your voice. It's as if I drank a bottle of anisette and fell asleep on a blanket of roses, and it drags me, and I know that I'm drowning, but I follow.
You have to leave right now.
This is the last time I'll speak to her. Don't worry.
And I know that I'm insane, and I know that my chest is rotten from holding it in it. But here I am, still to hear him, to watch him stir his arms about.
I have no peace if I didn't tell you these things. I married, now you marry.
And she does marry.
Wake up, young bride, awake, the wedding morn.
Wake up, young bride.
The people are here. Don't you go near her again.
Don't worry.
Wake up, young bride, awake, the wedding morn. We drink to your sweet sake, and each a wreath has worn.
Wake up, young bride.
Let her awake with the green branch of the laurel flowering. Let her awake with trunk and branch of the laurel towering.
Let her awaken to be wed, with long hair made a path of snow. Put on the boots that silvered glow, and jasmine on her shining head.
Oh, shepherdess, when the moon begins to shine.
Lover blessed, lay your hat beneath the vine.
Bill?
Wake up, awake, young bride, across fields see him ride. Bring to you in trays flowers he picked in your praise.
Wake up, young bride.
The bride has at last put on the white crown for the groom with gold lasso to draw it down.
By the balsam fir, brides in their sleeplessness stir.
By the orange tree, grooms spread a feast not for three.
Awaken, dove, dawn clears away the bells of shadow.
The betrothed, the white betrothed, today a maiden, tomorrow loved.
Come down, pretty dark one, trailing your silken train.
Come down, little dark one, morning has dew for rain.
Wake up, young wife, awake, hear winds with blossoms shake.
The trees want to embroider a 1,000 garnet sashes, and stitch on every border the dark flares of your lashes.
Wake up, young bride.
The wedding morn.
At the wedding hour, in radiant life, this young mountain flower seems a captain's wife.
Yeah, a young captain's wife, the groom takes away. Here his oxen come for the treasure.
The groom seems a goldenrod in bloom. When he walks, carnations sway on their stalks.
Ah, my happy child.
Wake up the bride.
Ah, my dove so wild.
Now the wedding calls through windows and walls.
Have the bride come out.
Come out, come out.
Have all the bells ring out and peal.
Have her come here now.
The wedding like a bull arises wonderful.
What perfume did you put on your hair?
None.
This cloth is unreal.
Here's the groom.
That's me. Cheers.
Groom seems a goldenrod in bloom.
Breezes of quiet skies rose gently through his eyes.
Why would you put on those shoes?
They're more festive than the black ones.
Cheers.
The morning of the wedding, we crown you with a wreath.
So fields may all rejoice at the water of your hair.
Those people here too?
Oh, they're family. Today is a day for forgiveness.
I always stand, but I don't forgive.
It's lovely to see you with the wreath on.
Let's go to the church soon.
Are you in a hurry?
Yes. I want to be your wife and be alone with you and hear no voice but yours.
I want that too.
And see nothing but your eyes, and for you to hold me so tight that even my mother rose from the grave and called out to me. I wouldn't be able to tear myself from you.
My arms are strong. I'm gonna hold you 40 years without stopping.
Bettina, it's tear myself.
Tear myself.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, Eduardo, can you give a go? You know, my arms are strong.
Sure. My arms are strong. I'm gonna hold you 40 years without stopping.
Forever.
It's time to go. Let's bring about the horses and carts. The sun's up.
And be careful. We don't want any accidents.
Coming out from your house to go away so far. Remember, you come out, white maiden like a star.
And gown and body clean to wedding like a queen.
Dome.
With flowers strewn by the breeze over sand that has no trees.
Like a child, her white innocent face.
Like a dark breeze, her mantilla's face.
Let's go
Where to?
to the church. But don't go on the horse. You come with me.
In the car?
What else is there?
I'm not a man to be riding in cars.
And I'm not a woman to be going to weddings without her husband. I can't stand it anymore.
Nor can I.
Why do you look at me like that? You have a thorn in each eye.
Let's go.
I don't know what's happening, but I think, and I don't want to think. One thing I do know, I've been dispatched, but I have a son and another one coming. We're wandering. My mother had the same fate, but I don't move from here.
Coming from out your house to go to church so far, remember you come out, white maiden like a star.
Remember you come out, white maiden like a star. That's how I came out of my house too. The whole world at my fingertips.
Let's go.
But with me.
Yes, get going.
From out your house to go to church so far. Remember you come out, white maiden like a star.
Okay, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I think we learnt a lot from that. Certainly in this section, ladies and gentlemen, please do keep your eye on the cues coming up because they should come far. Vicky, I'd like to just go back to page 24 for your opening verses. I think you shouldn't sing. Don't put a tune to it.
I will not.
Yeah, okay. And I think what I would rather you did at this point, if you can start to set up a rhythm, wake up, young bride, awake, the wedding morn.
Sure.
The rivers for your sake a wreath have borne. Let her awake with the green branch let her awake with the green branch of the laurel flowering. Let her awake with the trunk and branch of the laurel towering. Can you actually play it more poetically? I don't want to say chanting, but you know what I mean. I want you to feel the rhythm of the words.
I do. How's the pace of picking up cues? You know how in Zoom we need to pick them up a bit?
Yeah.
How's the pace?
You know what? I think as it was the first time through, which is one of the reasons I wanted to do this, so that everyone can get used to reading the script and hearing about the gaps. It will be what it is. It's not something we can particularly hear. The pace is perfectly fine. I mean, just make sure you're understandable, but you're the one that sets the pace here, hopefully.
Yes.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. The last thing I would like to do is, anybody have any questions, period, or does anybody have any questions for Eduardo about the pronunciation of any words during the text?
I do. How are we pronouncing the family name? Is it the American Felix, or are we pronouncing it differently?
We can say Felix for this one. Felix is good. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And how would you pronounce it then, Eduardo?
Oh, I would pronounce it Felix.
Okay.
Yeah. But since we're not playing Hispanic characters right now, Felix works well. Yeah.
Okay. That's good. Well, and which leads me to the next question, which came up yesterday from one of our actors, and again, it's just come up just now. What about accents?
Oh, I think for now we're not this is a full English translation, so we don't have to do any accents. Accents are for like the adaptation. This is more like a translation, I would say. So yeah, no, just do what you do. You're great.
Yeah, so in other words, if you feel for your character you need to have an accent, then you can use it, but don't feel that you will have to.
Yeah.
Can we just layer it if we're drawn there?
I'm gonna go ahead and just ask that people who aren't Hispanic don't use a Hispanic accent, but other accents I don't care.
So what if it comes out very American? I'm trying to pull away from very American.
Yeah, you're free to do American. You're free to do other ethnicities. I just personally will ask that non-Hispanic people don't use a Hispanic accent.
So what I was doing, you want me to alter it?
I think you were fine. I don't know. I didn't hear anything wrong. Yeah, you're good.
Thank you.
I have to say, I think it would sound very strange if I used my Welsh accent.
That's another.
Does anybody have any other questions? Okay, what I'd like to do now, ladies and gentlemen, is take a brief pause. Shall we just say it's 1:29? Shall we? And I'd like to start at 1:35. And the first thing we would do at 1:35, if everybody can come back online, and we will go through the introductions of the actors and the roles that you are playing, at which point we will go straight into the very beginning of the reading. I would like to play it, please, straight through without an intermission. I don't think that, I think the play works better if there is no break, because it gradually builds, to the climax, and leave it at that. So just before we end, anybody has anything else to say before we start at 1:35?
I have a question. Do you want to do anything about like stage direction? Like there's
nothing.
like a lot of like flowered.
No, I would like to treat this basically as a poem. In that respect, I think I think unrehearsed putting stage directions in becomes too complex. Yes or no. And I don't like it in Shakespeare, and I don't like it. I just, play it, don't say it. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in 5 minutes. Oh yes, Bettina.
Quick question. So my character, is she excited about the wedding, or is it more like an obligation?
Oh, this is a full breakdown of the character of La Novia. La Novia is trying to fulfill a societal role as like everyone. Okay, so in this play, the only person with a name is Leonardo. Everyone else is like named by their role in society. So that sort of like signifies that like you're stifled, you're like stuck in who you are, like relative to society. And La Novia is like trying really hard to be La Novia, be like the bride. And it's just like not suited for it at all. Is like very much just like internally just fighting with her own like sense of self. So that's why she ends up like leaving with Leonardo, is because she was never suited for that role in society.
Very cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
But does that also apply to Leonardo's wife?
No, Leonardo is la mujer. I mean, not everyone's trying to break out of their role. Like El Novio, La Madre is definitely not trying to break out of her role, right? So yeah, I think this is just very particular to La Novia and like why, like where the tension from this play comes from. And that's why Leonardo has a name, because he like has eschewed all of society and like that has decided that he doesn't give a shit. Yeah.
Okay.
Just one more question.
Yes, go ahead.
At the end of Act 3, Scene 1, since we're not doing stage directions, is there anything you want the moon or death to do there? You know, there's the screams, and then it says
oh, actually, I meant to thank you. I wanted to talk about the screams. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
So just how do you want to handle that ending?
Okay, now that's a very good question. Thank you, Lisa. I just want to check, Eduardo, the screams, I presume, are the two men killing each other.
That's correct, yes.
Okay, so I'm assuming that the two of you will actually scream. Just one minute, David.
I think the way to do it. So the way to do that stage direction, I'll just like give you a little like stage business. Leonardo and I, the novio, will just like with our cameras off screen, and the only two people on screen will be the Mendiga and the moon, and they're just gonna like be loving it in their own particular way. And I think that's sort of true to the stage direction. It's true to sort of like how one would stage it. Yeah.
Great.
Without the two violins. Yeah. Okay, does that answer your question, Lisa? You and Jesse should just switch off your lights, switch off your cameras, I should say, when once they have finished screaming, and you express your pleasure at what's happened in the midst of absolute silence.
Great. Okay. Excellent.
Okay, Alex.
Okay. Yeah. That's really cool. Actually, this play is amazing.
It really is. Yeah, David, you had a question?
Well, just in the wedding scene, when we're not speaking or sort of not in the scene, we usually click off. But in the wedding scene, there's no stage directions as to exit, entrance, exit, entrance. So should we just come in at the beginning and stay in?
My gut, if I were actually reading a part, would be to make myself visible on screen, even though I don't have anything to say, if the character is involved.
Okay.
Does that answer your question? In other words, do the exits and the entrances, but
it would all be done with staging, I mean, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think be there, I think your face should be there, even if your voice is not.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, that's what
in that case, it is now almost 1:35. We will start, ladies and gentlemen, at 1:40. Okay, Paul, are you still with us?
Yeah, yes, I am here.
Okay, so we can just take a hiatus for 5 minutes. I mean, if you want to,
Okay, yeah, well, it's actually, once I've started sort of the live stream, I don't know how to stop it and then sort of start another live stream or record it. So we'll just go for 5 minutes and I can just,
I mean, with this particular group of highly intelligent, educated people, I'm sure there'll be a scintillating conversation to fill the gap.
Yeah, I also think at some point when you made me host for something because you had to go off, I found a way to pause it, but...
Well, I mean, what you can do is, you can pause the recording. But I don't, I mean, it's sort of, as I understand, like when we're doing this, we're live streaming it to YouTube, and so it would, I don't know that you can sort of pause the live stream. I have to stop it and then start another one. And it like becomes more trouble than it's worth rather than just talk for 5 minutes. So I'm just going to talk for, I guess, 4 minutes now at this point. If
That is
anybody
very fair.
about Instant Shakespeare Company, or if anybody has any questions about it and our plans for the present season, because I have to like double check now, but I'm pretty sure this is actually going to be our 23rd season of the Instant Shakespeare Company, of doing annual readings of all of Shakespeare's plays, which we started in the year 2000 at the old Applause Theater and Cinema Books bookstore at 211 West 71st Street, which is now, I think, a nail salon. And so, but there are, so we did the 36 plays in the first folio in 12 days, 3 plays a day, 3, 6, and 9, you know, so that we had to like keep them moving, and none of the readings should go over 3 hours. And so that was that. And yes, David Palmer Brown was in that original year doing many readings, most especially our really, I think, highlight of the season was the Othello, with you as Iago and Jeffrey as Othello. And it's since then we've been doing them at various places. We had done some readings at the Drama Bookshop, but mostly been in the New York Public Library. And then for the last 2 years, we've been doing them online on Zoom, which we will continue to do even as we hopefully soon, possibly even in March, get back into the public libraries. So David, do you have anything about remember from that crazy first year where we did I think Henry VIII with 5 actors, I think.
5 actors, and we just jumped back and forth and played different roles. And
you mean it wasn't Henry V with 8 actors?
We did Henry VIII, then we did Mackers, and then they did The Tempest as the final play. And that was a long afternoon, let me tell you. But it was great. We had so much fun.
Yeah, we had, and actually, Angus was also in a number of the readings that year as well, and there's others as well who we've had, who've still kept with it for all of this time. And, but it's the idea that the text. That we need to trust the text more. I mean, I think one of the things that I've really liked about the way Shakespeare has sort of developed in this country is it's been more sort of like actor-centered. You know, you have places like Shakespeare and Company in Massachusetts, the American Shakespeare Center down in Virginia, where it's really, let's not impose a directorial idea upon the play, but let's just take the play and use it as an opportunity for actors to really, I mean, relish this text because it's such great text with Shakespeare. And so that's the idea of just sort of diving into it without rehearsal and seeing where it takes you. And it's really, I think, and many times worked quite well. Sometimes it doesn't, but you know. And so that's.
I think we're coming up to time now. So.
Okay. All right. Well, that's over to you then. And yeah, now we're having a instant Lorca reading of the Blood Wedding.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, if I can ask you all please to switch on your cameras, at which point I will then just go through and ask you to introduce yourselves. I will, as I have a list of who you are here, I will call out your name. I want to take this opportunity, first of all, to thank you all for agreeing to do this and to go out on a literal limb, keeping my Lorca alliterations going. But thank you for doing this. I also want to thank Eduardo for allowing us to do this. He and I had a conversation during the histories last year when he mentioned this play and told me the history of it. And I just said, yeah, we got to do this. We have got to do this. So I'm hoping that we might be able to do more of, plays like this, or even this again in its bilingual version. But anyway, if everybody is ready, if you could please introduce yourselves. Paula.
Okay.
Hello, Paula. Can you introduce yourself, please? Oh, no, she's not there. Okay, let's move on. Megan.
Hi, I'm Megan Cooper, and I'm playing La Vecina.
Okay, Anna.
I'm Anna Cody. I'm reading La Suegra.
Christina.
I'm Christina Osterling. I'm reading La Mujer de Leonardo.
And Evan.
Hi, I'm Evan. I am playing young girl number 1.
And the Nina. And Vicky.
Hi, La Criada, maid to the bride.
And Bettina.
Hi, my name is Bettina Schwabe, and I'm reading La Novia.
And Meryl.
Hi, I am Meryl Fetterman, and I am playing Muchachas number 2 and 5.
And Trudy.
Hello, I'm Trudy Bird, and I am playing La Convidada and Muchachas 3 and 6.
And Lisa.
Hi, I'm Lisa Griffith, and I'm playing La Muerta.
And Paula, are you back with us yet? Okay. And
Yes,
Eduardo.
I am back. So
Oh,
sorry.
there you are. Okay.
Yes, I'm Paula Hosa. I am La Madre.
Okay, Eduardo.
Hello, I'm Eduardo. I'm the translator, and I'm playing the novio for this production.
Alex.
Alex Chilton. I'm playing Leonardo.
David.
My name is David Palmer Brown, and I'm playing El Padre de la Novia.
Bill.
I'm Bill Bleckenberg. I'm playing Mozo 1, wedding, aka Wedding Guest 1, and Leñador 1, Woodsman 1.
And Clinton.
Hello, I'm Clinton Powell. I'm reading Mozo 2 and Leñadore 2.
And Ken.
Kenneth Wayne. I'm Leñador numero 3.
And last but not least, smiling down upon us all, La Luna, Jessie.
Hi, I'm Jessie Aftel, and I am playing La Luna and Muchacha 4.
And thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I would ask all of you to switch off your cameras now, please. And then when we're all off, then we will be immediately ready to begin as soon as possible.
Mother.
What?
I'm going
Where?
to the vineyard.
Wait,
Do you want something, or
son. Your lunch.
leave it? I'll eat grapes. Give me the knife
What for?
to cut them
The knife. The
with.
knife. Curse them all and the devil that invented them.
Talk about something else.
And the shotguns and the pistols and the tiniest razor and even the hose and the pitchforks for the garden.
Enough.
Everything that can cut the body of a man. A beautiful man in the flower of youth who goes out to the vines or goes to his own olive trees because they are his inherited.
Be quiet.
And that man doesn't come back. Or if he comes back, it is for you to put a palm leaf on him or a plate of salt so he won't bloat up. I don't know how you dare to carry a knife on your body, nor how I allow the serpent into my kitchen.
Is that enough now?
If I lived 100 years, I wouldn't talk about anything else. First, your father, who smelled to me like carnations, and I enjoyed him 3 short years. Then your brother. And is it just? And can it be that a thing so small as a pistol or a knife can end a man who is a bull? I would never keep quiet. Months go by and desperation stings me in the eyes and even in the ends of my hair.
Are we going to finish?
No, we are not going to finish. Can anyone bring me your father and your brother? And then the prison. What is the prison? There they eat, there they smoke, there they play instruments. My dead ones, full of grass, speechless, made dust. Two men who were two geraniums. The killers in the prison, cool, watching the mountains.
What, do you want me to kill them?
No, if I talk, it's because how can I help talking when I see you go out that door? It's that I don't like you to carry a knife. It's that I wish you wouldn't go out to the field.
Come on.
That I wish you were a woman. You wouldn't go to the stream now, and we would embroider the two borders and little wool dogs.
Mother, what if I took you with me out to the vines?
Oh, what good is it? An old woman in a vineyard. What? Are you going to lay me under the branches?
Oh, old woman, cute old woman, dear little old woman.
Your father, he would take me. That's a good breed. Your grandfather left a child on every corner. That I like. The men. Ah, the men. Wheat. Wheat.
And me, Mother?
You what?
Do I have to say it again?
Ah,
Does it seem wrong to you?
no.
Well then,
I don't know myself. Like this, all of a sudden, it always surprises me. I know that the girl is good, right? Well behaved, a hard worker. She needs her bread and sews her skirts, and yet I feel, when I name her, as if I'd been hit in the head with a rock.
that's silly.
More than silly, it's that I am left alone. Now you are the only one left me. I lament your leaving.
But you'll come with us.
No, I cannot leave your father and your brother here alone. I have to go every morning. And if I go away, it's likely that one of those Felix will die, one of that family of killers, and that they bury him alongside. And that, definitely not. Oh, that definitely not. Because with my fingernails, I would unearth them, and I alone would shatter them against the fence.
Back here again.
Oh, excuse me. How long have you been together?
3 years. I've been able to buy the vineyard.
3 years. She was engaged once, wasn't she?
I don't know. I don't think so. A girl has to consider well who she's going to marry.
Yes. No, I didn't consider anybody. I considered your father. And when they killed him, I considered the wall in front of me. One woman with one man. And that's it.
You know that my girl is good.
I don't doubt it. But anyway, I lament not knowing how her mother was.
What does that matter?
Son.
What do you want?
True. Oh, you're right. When do you want me to ask for her?
Is Sunday good?
I will take her brass earrings, the antique ones, and you buy her...
You know best.
buy her some open work stockings, and for yourself, 2 suits. 3, you're all I have.
I'm off. Tomorrow I'll go see her.
Yes. And let's see if you can make me happy with 6 grandchildren, or as many as you like, now that your father was not able to make them for me.
The first one for you.
Yes, but let there be daughters. I want to embroider and make lace and be tranquil.
I'm sure you will love my girl.
I will love her. Go on. You're too big for kisses now. Give them to your woman. When she is your woman.
I'm going.
Oh, well, around the mill. You're neglecting it.
Whatever you say.
Go with God. Come in.
How are you?
As you see.
I went down to the store and I came to see you. We live so far away.
For 20 years, I have not gone up to the top of the streets.
Well, you're doing well.
Do you think so?
Oh, things happen. 2 days ago, they brought my neighbor's son in with both his arms cut off by the machine.
Raphael?
Yes! And there you have it. A lot of the time, I think that your son and mine are better off where they are, asleep, resting, instead of being liable to end up useless.
Be quiet. All that is invention, but not consolation.
Why?
Why?
Well, and your son?
He's gone out.
At last, he bought the vineyard.
He had luck.
Now he will get married.
Listen.
Tell me.
Do you know my boy's girl?
A good girl.
Yes, but
nobody really knows her well. She lives alone with her father out there, very far away, 10 leagues from the nearest house. But she is good, used to solitude.
But the things people know.
Pardon me, I wouldn't want to offend, but it's true. Her mother was beautiful and her face shone like a saint's, but I never liked her and she didn't love her husband.
But the things people know.
Pardon me, but I wouldn't want to offend, but it's true. Now, whether she was decent or not, nobody said. There was no talk about that. She was pretty proud.
Oh, always the same.
You asked me.
It's that I wish nobody knew either of them, neither the live one nor the dead one. That they were like two thistles, that nobody speaks their name and they prick if the time comes.
You're right. Your son is worth a lot.
A lot. It's why I look after him. I've been told the girl was engaged some time back.
She must have had about 15 years. He got married like 2 years ago with one of her cousins, in fact. Oh, nobody remembers the engagement.
Well, how do you remember?
You make these questions.
Everyone likes to know about the thing that hurts them. Who was her fiancé?
Leonardo.
What Leonardo?
Leonardo, the Felix boy.
A Felix?
Woman, what is Leonardo guilty of? He was 8 when all that was going on.
It's true, but to hear the name Felix, it's the same thing to say it and to fill my mouth with sludge. And I have to spit. I have to spit so I won't kill.
Control yourself. What good does that do?
Nothing. But you understand.
Don't set yourself against your son's happiness. Don't tell him anything. You are old, so am I. You and me, our place is to be silent.
I won't tell him anything.
Nothing.
These things.
Oh, I'm going. Soon my men will be coming in from the fields.
Have you seen how hot today is?
Oh, the children are running around burned black from carrying water out to the harvesters. Goodbye, woman.
Goodbye.
Hush, child, a song about the stallion who would not drink water, and he would only neigh as he galloped across the harshest mountains.
Sleep, my flower, the stallion won't drink.
Sleep, my rose, the stallion is crying. When you hear his song, that of the stallion who would not drink water.
Heed, child, don't let him in. Nothing soothes him except for the wildest mare.
Sleep, my flower, the stallion won't drink.
Sleep, my rose, the stallion is crying.
How's the baby?
He's gone to sleep.
He wasn't well yesterday. He cried all night.
Today he is like a dahlia. And you, did you go to the blacksmith's?
That's where I'm coming from. Would you believe it? For over 2 months, I've been putting new shoes on the horse, and they always fall off. It's like he keeps tearing them off on the rocks.
Could it be that you use him too much?
No, I hardly use them at all.
Yesterday, the neighbors told me they had seen you at the edge of the plains.
Who said that?
The women who gather the caper. Of course, it surprised me. Was it you?
No, what would I be doing there in those dry lands?
That's what I said. But the horse was winded and sweating.
Did you see it?
No, my mother.
Ah, she with the baby.
Yes. Would you like some lemonade?
With the water freezing cold.
Why didn't you come to eat?
I was with the wheat measurers. They always keep you.
Did they pay you a good price for it?
It's fair.
I need a dress, and the baby needs a bonnet with bows.
I'm gonna go see him.
Be careful. He's asleep.
So, who's racing the horse so fast? It has its head hanging down with its eyes bulging out of it. Came out from the ends of the earth.
Me.
He's yours.
He was with the wheat measurers.
He can drop dead, as far as I'm concerned.
The lemonade, is it cold?
Yes?
You know they're asking for my cousin's hand.
When?
Tomorrow. The wedding will be in the next month. I hope they come to invite us.
I don't know.
I don't think his mother is very satisfied with the marriage.
And maybe she is right. The girl's a danger.
I don't like you thinking badly of a nice girl.
But when he says it, it's because he knows her. Don't you see? She was his girl for 3 years.
But I left her. Are you gonna cry now? Stop it. Let's go see the baby. Huh?
Ma'am?
Yes?
The groom came to the store and bought all the best things in it.
Did he go alone?
No, with his mother. Solemn, tall. Oh, but what luxury!
They have money.
And they bought some open work stockings. Oh, those stockings. Oh, a woman's dream of stockings. Look, a swallow here, a boat here, and here a rose.
Child!
A rose with seeds and a stem, all in silk.
They are going to unite 2 good fortunes.
I came to tell you what they were buying.
We don't care.
Leave her alone.
Leonardo, it's not a big deal.
I'm sorry.
Why do you always need to get so ugly with people?
I haven't asked your opinion.
All right.
What's going on with you? What idea is boiling inside your head? Don't leave me like this without knowing anything.
Lay off me.
No, I want you to look at me and tell me.
Leave me alone.
Where are you going, honey?
You shut up!
Quiet. The baby. Sleep, my child, my flower, the stallion won't drink.
Sleep, my rose. The stallion is crying.
Did you bring the watch?
Yes.
We have to get back in good time. These people live so far away.
But this is good land.
Good, but too isolated. A 4-hour ride and not a single house or tree.
These are the dry lands.
Your father would have covered them with trees.
Without water.
They would already have found it. In the 3 years that he was married to me, he planted 10 cherry trees. The 3 walnut trees of the mill, the whole vineyard, and a plant called a Jupiter, which yields red flowers. It dried up.
She must be getting dressed.
Yeah. Long trip?
4 hours.
Oh, you must have come the long way.
I'm too old now to be walking around the cliffs of the river.
She gets sick.
A good harvest of esparto grass.
Yes, really good.
In my time, this land wouldn't even give esparto. We've had to punish the land, even to make it cry, to have it yield something useful.
But now it yields. Don't complain. I did not come to ask you for anything.
You are richer than I. The vineyard's worth a fortune. Each young vine branch is a silver coin. What I regret is that the land, well, you understand, should be separate. I like everything united. I have a thorn in my heart, and it's that confounded vegetable garden stuck there in the middle of my land. They won't sell it to me for all the gold in the world.
That always happens.
If only with 20 pairs of oxen we could bring your vines here and put them on that hillside. What joy!
Why?
What's mine is hers, and what's yours is his. That's why. To see it all united, united, it's a beauty.
And it would be less work.
When I die, sell that and buy this here alongside.
Sell, bah. Buy, daughter, buy everything. Oh, if I had had sons, I would have bought this entire mountain all the way to the stream. Because it is not good land, but with good arms, one makes it good. And since people don't go through it, they don't steal your fruit, and you can sleep in peace.
You know why I come.
Yes.
Well, then.
It seems all right to me. They've talked about it.
My son has and can.
My daughter, too.
My son is handsome. He has never known a woman. His honor cleaner than the sheet put in the sun.
What should I tell you about mine? She makes meals at 3 when the morning star is out. She never talks, soft as wool. She knows every kind of embroidery and can cut a rope with her teeth.
God bless your home.
May God bless it.
When do you want the wedding?
Next Thursday?
The day when she will be exactly 22 years old.
22 years. That's how old my eldest son would have been if he were alive. He would be living, hot and manly as he was, if men had not invented knives.
No, one doesn't have to think about that.
Every minute, with your hand on your heart.
Thursday then, is that right?
That's right.
The betrothed and us will go by carriage to the church, which is very far, and the guests will go in carts and on the horses they bring.
Agreed.
Tell her she can come in now. I'll be very pleased if you like her.
Come closer. Are you happy?
Yes, Senora.
You shouldn't be so serious. After all, she's going to be your mother.
I am happy. When I have given my consent, it's because I wanted to give it.
Naturally. Look at me.
She's the exact image of her mother.
Yes. What a beautiful gaze. Do you know what getting married is, child?
I do.
A man, some children, and a wall 6 feet wide for everything else.
Is there anything more needed?
No. That everyone lives, that they live.
I will fulfill.
Here are some presents.
Thank you.
Well, shall we have something?
I don't want anything. You?
I'll take something.
Wine?
He doesn't touch it.
Oh, even better.
I'll come tomorrow.
At what time?
At 5.
I will wait for you.
When I leave your side, I feel a coldness all over me and something like a knot in my throat.
When you're my husband, you won't have it anymore.
That's what I say.
Let's go. The sun doesn't wait. Satisfied with everything?
Yeah, satisfied.
Goodbye, woman.
Go with God.
Goodbye, daughter.
I'll go out with you.
I'm bursting to see the presents.
Stop.
Child, show them to me.
I don't want to.
The stockings, at least. They say they are all in open work. Woman!
Hey, I said no.
My God. Fine. It's as if you don't want to get married. Girl, child, what's the matter with you? Do you regret leaving your life of a queen? Don't think about bitter things. Do you have any reason to? None. Let's look at the presents.
Let it go.
Hi, woman.
I said let it go.
You're stronger than a man.
Haven't I done the work of a man? I wish I were.
Don't talk like that.
Shut up. Let's talk about something else.
Did you hear a horse last night?
What time?
At 3.
Must have been a horse loose from the herd.
No, it had a rider.
How could you know?
Because I saw him. He had stopped at your window. I was really surprised.
Oh. Wouldn't it just be my fiancé? Sometimes he comes by around that time.
Oh.
You saw him?
Yes.
Who was it?
It was Leonardo.
You're lying. You are lying. Why would he come here?
He came.
Shut up. Damn your tongue.
Quick, lean out. Was it?
It it was.
I will finish combing you here.
The heat in here is unbearable.
Doesn't cool off in this country, even at daybreak.
My mother came from a place where there were a lot of trees with rich, fertile ground.
That's how joyous she was.
But she burned herself away here.
That is fate.
Like we all burn ourselves away. The walls are burst with fire. Ouch! Don't pull so hard.
It will fix this wave better. I want it to fall down on your forehead. How beautiful you are. Oh.
Keep combing my hair.
You're fortunate. You're going to embrace a man. You're going to kiss him. You're going to feel his weight.
Shut up.
And the best thing is, when you wake up and you feel him beside you, and he grazes your shoulders with his breath like the feather of a nightingale.
Will you shut up?
The child, a wedding, what is it? A wedding is just that and nothing more. Is it candy and cakes? Is it sprays of flowers? No. It is a resplendent bed and a man and a woman.
It shouldn't be sad.
That's another thing, but it's awfully happy.
Or awfully bitter.
I'm going to put the orange blossoms on you from here to here so that the wreath will be shining over the hairdress.
Give it to me.
What's this?
Leave me alone.
This is no time for getting sad. Give me the orange blossoms. Child, what punishment are you asking for throwing your wreath on the floor? Is it that you don't want to get married? Say so. You can still repent.
It's cloudiness, a bad air in the core. Who doesn't have it?
You love your man.
I love him.
Yes, yes, I'm sure you do.
But this is a big step.
It has to be taken.
I've promised myself.
I'm going to put the wreath on you.
Hurry up, they should be arriving soon.
By now, at least 2 hours on the way.
How far is it from here to the church?
5 leagues by the stream. By the road, it's about double. Wake up, young bride, awake. The wedding morn, the rivers for your sake, a wreath have borne.
Come on.
Let her awake with the green branch of the laurel flowering. Let her awake with trunk and branch of the laurel towering.
Open it. That must be the first guests.
You?
Me. Good morning.
The first?
Wasn't I invited?
Yes.
That's why I came.
And your woman?
I came on horseback. She's coming over the road.
You didn't run into anybody.
Pass them with the horse.
You'll kill an animal with such racing.
When it dies, it's dead.
Sit down. No one has gotten up yet.
And the bride?
I'm going to dress her right now.
The bride, she must be happy.
Where's the baby?
What baby?
Your son.
Oh.
Are they bringing him?
No.
Wake up, young bride, awake, the wedding morn.
Wake up, young bride, awake, the wedding morn.
It's the guests. They still have a ways to come.
The bride will wear a large wreath, won't she? It shouldn't be too big. A smaller one would suit her better. Has the groom already brought the orange blossom that she has to wear on her chest?
He brought it.
Don't come out like that.
What's in it? What's in it to you? Why do you ask if the orange blossom was brought? Do you have some purpose?
None. What purpose could I have? Knowing me like you do, you know I have none. Tell me, what was I to you? Think back. Refresh your memory. But 2 oxen in a dingy shack are practically worthless. There's the rub.
What did you come here for?
To see your wedding.
I saw yours too.
Tied down by you. Made with your 2 hands. I'm someone who can be killed, but I can't be spit on. And money, which glitters so much, sometimes spits.
Lies.
I don't want to talk because I'm a man of blood and I don't want all these hills to hear my cries.
My cries would be louder.
These words can't go on. You don't have to talk about what's past.
You're right. I should even speak to you, but my soul boils at your coming to see me and spy on my wedding and asking purposeful questions about the orange blossom. Get out and wait for your wife at the door.
What? You and I can't talk?
No, you can't talk.
Day and night after my marriage, I have thought over whose fault it was. And every time I think about it, a new fault comes out and consumes the other, but there is always a fault.
A man with his horse knows a lot and can do a lot to try to trample down a girl stuck out in a desert. But I have my pride, and that's why I'm getting married. I will lock myself up with my husband, who I must love above everything.
Your pride isn't going to do you any good.
Stay away from me!
To keep quiet and to burn oneself is the greatest punishment we can inflict on ourselves. What did it serve me, my pride, and not seeing you and leaving you lying awake night after night? Nothing. It served to pour fire on myself. Because you think that time mends and the walls hide, and it's not true. It's not true. When things get down into the core, nobody can tear them out.
I can listen to you. I can listen to your voice. It is as if I drank a bottle of anisette and fell asleep on a blanket of roses. And it drags me, and I know that I'm drowning, but I follow.
You have to leave right now.
This is the last time I'll speak to her. Don't worry.
And I know that I'm insane, and I know that my chest is rotten from holding in it. But here I am, still to hear him, to watch him stir his arms about.
I have no peace if I didn't tell you these things. I married. Now you marry.
And she does marry.
Wake up, young bride, awake, the wedding morn.
Wake up, young bride.
The people are here. Don't you go near her again.
Don't worry.
Wake up, young bride, awake, the wedding morn. We drink to your sweet sake, and each a wreath has worn.
Wake up, young bride.
Let her awake with the green branch of the laurel flowering. Let her awake with trunk and branch of the laurel towering.
Let her awaken to be wed, with long hair made a path of snow. Put on the boots that silvered glow, and jasmine on her shining head.
O shepherdess, when the moon begins to shine.
Oh, lover blessed, lay your hat beneath the vine.
Wake up, young bride. Across fields see him ride, bringing him to you in trays. Flowers he plucked in your praise.
Wake up, young bride.
The bride has at last put on the white crown for the groom, with gold lasso to draw it down.
By the balsam fir, brides in their sleeplessness stir.
By the orange tree, grooms spread a feast not for three.
Awaken, dove, dawn clears away the bells of shadow.
The betrothed, the white betrothed, today a maiden, tomorrow loved.
Down, pretty dark one, trailing your silken train.
Oh, come down, little dark one. Morning has dew for rain.
Wake up, young wife, awake. Ye winds with blossoms shake.
The trees want to embroider 1,000 garnet sashes and stitch on every border the dark flares of your lashes.
Wake up, young bride.
The wedding morn.
At the wedding hour in radiant life, This young mountain flower seems a captain's wife.
A young captain's wife the groom takes away. Here his oxen come for the treasure.
The groom seems a goldenrod in bloom. When he walks, carnations sway on their stalks.
Ah, my happy child.
Wake up the bride.
Ah, my dove so wild.
Now the wedding calls through windows and walls.
Have the bride come out.
Come out, come out.
Of all the bells ring out and peal.
Have her come here now.
The wedding, like a bull, arises wonderful.
What perfume did you put on your hair?
None.
Oh, this cloth is unreal.
Here's the groom.
Hey, cheers.
Groom seems a goldenrod in bloom.
Breezes of quiet skies rose gently through his eyes.
Why would you put on those shoes?
Oh, they're more festive than the black ones.
Cheers.
The morning of the wedding, we crown you with a wreath.
So fields may all rejoice at the water of your hair.
Those people here too.
Oh, they're family. Today is a day for forgiveness.
Oh, I'll withstand, but I don't forgive.
It's lovely to see you with a wreath on.
Go to the church soon?
Are you in a hurry?
Yes. I want to be a wife and be alone with you and hear no voice but yours.
I want that too.
And see nothing but your eyes. And for you to hold me so tight that even if my mother rose from the grave and called out to me, I wouldn't be able to tear myself from you.
My arms are strong. I'm going to hold you 40 years without stopping.
Forever.
Stop, it's time to go. Let's bring about the horses and carts. The sun's up.
And be careful. We don't want to have any accidents.
Coming from out your house to go away so far. Remember you come out, white maiden, like a star.
In gown and body clean, to wedding like a queen.
Leave the roof of home to
With flowers strewn by the breeze over sand that has no trees.
Like a child, her white innocent face.
Like a dark breeze, her mantillas lace.
Let's go.
Where to?
To the church. But don't go on the horse. You come with me.
In the car?
What else is there?
I'm not a man to be riding in cars.
And I'm not a woman to be going to weddings without her husband. I can't stand it anymore.
Nor can I.
Why do you look at me like that? You have a thorn in each eye.
Let's go.
I don't know what's happening, but I think and I don't want to think. One thing I do know, I've been dispatched, but I have a son and another one coming. We're wandering. My mother had the same fate, but I don't move from here.
Coming from out your house to go to church so far. Remember you come out, white maiden, like a star.
Remember you come out, white maiden, like a star. That's how I came out of my house, too. A whole world at my fingertips.
Let's go.
But with me.
Yes. Get going.
Coming from out your house to go to church so far. Remember you come out, white maiden, like a star.
It spun. The wheel spun as the water flowed by, for the wedding came to part the branches, and the white moon adored itself from its balcony on high. Set the tablecloths. They sang, the bride and groom sang, as the water flowed by, for the wedding came, that frost would shine, that bitter almonds would fill with honey. Prepare the wine. Coquette, coquette of the earth, Watch as the water flows by. For the wedding came, nothing stays the same. Pick up your skirts and hide under the wing of your love. For your true love is a dove with a breast made all of coals. And the field awaits the sound of his bloodshed on the ground. It spun, the wheel spun as the water flowed by. But your wedding at last is here. Let the water run cool and clear.
Finally.
Yeah, well, are we the first ones?
No, Leonardo got here with his woman a while ago. They raced like demons. Got here dead with fright. They made the trip as if they had come on horseback.
Oh, that fellow is looking for trouble. He has bad blood.
What kind of blood do you expect? The blood of his family. It springs from his great-grandfather who started out killing, and it continues in the whole bad breed, wielders of knives and false smiles.
Let's drop it.
How is she going to drop it?
It hurts me down to the tips of my veins. On all their faces, I see nothing but the hand that killed what was mine. Do you see me? Do you see how crazy I look?
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy from not shouting everything my chest needs to. My chest has a cry, constantly struggling to break free, which I have to beat down and envelop in the shrouds. But they leave me with my dead, and I have to be silent. And then people criticize.
Today is not a day to remember those things.
When the conversation starts, I have to talk. Today, more than ever, today, I'm left alone in my house.
Awaiting company.
That is my dream. Grandchildren.
Well, I hope they have many. This land needs arms that aren't bought. A war has to be waged against the weeds, against thistles, against the rough rocks that spring up who knows where. And these arms must be those of the owners, to punish and to dominate, to make the seeds spring up. They'll need many sons.
And at least one daughter. Boys are of the wind. They're forced to wield weapons. Girls never go out to the streets.
I think they will have some of everything.
My son will cover her well. He comes from good seed. His father could have had lots of children with me.
I just wish it were the work of only a day, that all of a sudden they could have 2 or 3 full-grown men.
But it isn't that way. It takes a long time. That is why it's so terrible to see one's blood spilled on the ground. A fountain that runs for a minute, but has cost us years. When I got to my son, he was toppled over in the middle of the street. I wet my hands with blood, and I tasted them on my tongue, because it was mine. You don't know what that is. I would place the earth drenched with it in a shrine of topaz and glass.
Now you have to wait. My daughter is broad and your son is strong.
That is what I hope.
Prepare the food trays.
They're all prepared.
Good fortune.
Thank you.
Is there going to be a party?
Oh, a little one. People can't stay long.
They're here.
Before it's a wedding.
Never.
It was magnificent.
Whole branches of families came.
People leave the house.
Your father sowed a lot. Now you reap the reward.
There were cousins of mine I didn't recognize.
All of the people from the coast.
They were frightened by the horses.
What are you thinking about?
Oh, I'm not thinking about anything.
The blessings weigh heavy.
Like lead.
But they shouldn't. You should be as light as a dove.
Are you staying here tonight?
No. My house is left alone.
You should stay.
Look at the dance they've got going. Dances from way out on the edge of the sea.
They're cousins of my husband. Stiff as sticks for dancing.
It makes me happy to see them. What a change for this house.
Did you like the orange blossom?
Yes.
It's all wax. It keeps forever. I would have liked you wearing them all over your dress.
There's no need for that.
Let's take our pins off.
I'll be back in a minute.
I hope you'll be happy with my cousin.
Well, I'm sure I will.
The two of you here, without ever going out and raising the house. If only I lived this far away too.
Why don't you buy some land? This mountainside's cheap and it's better for raising children.
We don't have money. And with the way we're going...
Your husband's a good worker.
Yes, but he likes to fly too much. Flitting from one thing to another, he isn't a calm man.
I'm not taking anything. I'm going to wrap up some wine cakes for your mother, which she likes so much.
Give her 3 dozen.
No, no. Half a dozen is plenty.
It's a special day.
Where's Leonardo?
Haven't seen him.
Oh, he must be out there with the people.
I'm going to see.
It's beautiful out there.
And you? Don't you dance?
Nobody has asked me.
Ah, that's not knowing any better. Fresh old women like you dance better than the young ones.
But now you're going to flirt with me, boy. Family of yours, men among men. When I was a girl, I was at the wedding of your grandfather. What a figure. It was like a mountain was getting married.
I've got less stature.
But the same shine in your eyes. Where's the girl?
Taking down her hairdress.
Ah, look. For midnight, since you won't be sleeping, I've prepared you some ham and some large glasses of old wine on the lowest shelf of the cupboard, just in case you need it.
I don't eat at midnight.
If not you, then the bride.
You've come to drink with us.
I'm waiting for the bride.
You'll have her in the morning.
When it's most pleasing.
Just for a minute.
All right, let's go.
Who did you give the first pin to? Me or this one?
I don't remember.
You gave it to me right here.
You gave it to me in front of the altar?
I don't know anything.
Well, it's just that I wish that
No,
you'd...
I can't. I have too much to think about.
Sorry.
These moments are so difficult.
We don't know anything about that.
You will know when your time comes. These steps are hard to take.
Has it upset you?
No. I'm sorry.
What for? But both pins are good for getting married, right?
Yes. Both.
Now, one of us will get married before the other.
Do you want it so badly?
Yes.
What for?
Well...
Get off me!
Are you afraid of me?
Oof. Okay, it was you.
Who could it have been? Your father or me?
Of course.
Now, your father would have hugged you more mildly.
Sure.
Because he is old.
Leave me alone?
Why?
Well, all the people, they can see us.
So what? It's consecrated now.
I know, but leave me alone. Later.
What's wrong with you? You're like frightened.
Oh, nothing's wrong. Don't go.
I don't want to interrupt.
Tell me.
Has my husband been by here?
No.
It's just that I can't find him, and his horse isn't in the stable either.
He must be giving it a run.
Are you too pleased with so many congratulations?
I'm hoping this will end soon. The bride's a little tired.
What's this, child?
I have like a throbbing in my head.
A bride of these mountains must be strong. You're the only one who can cure her of it since she's yours now.
Let's go dance a while.
No, I want to stretch out on the bed a little.
Well, I'll accompany you.
Never! With all those people here, what would they say? Let me rest
Whatever you want. Whatever you want, but don't be like that tonight.
Oh, tonight I will be better.
That's what I want.
Son,
Where have you been?
out in all that racket. Are you happy?
Yes.
And your woman?
She's resting a bit. Difficult day for brides.
Difficult day. The only good one. For me, it was like an inheritance. It's the breaking of new ground, the planting of new trees.
Are you gonna leave?
Yes, I must be in my house.
Alone.
No, not alone. My head is teeming with things and with men and with fights.
But fights that are no longer fights.
As long as one lives, one fights.
I'll always obey you.
Make sure to be affectionate with your woman. And if you notice her being closed off or short-tempered, caress her so that it will hurt her a little. Give her a strong hug, a little bite, and then a soft kiss so that she won't get upset, but will feel that you're the man, the master, the one in charge. I learned that from your father. And since you don't have him, I have to be the one to teach you this strength.
I shall always do as you say.
Where's my daughter?
She's inside.
Bring on the bride and groom. We're about to dance the rueda.
You're going to lead it.
She isn't here.
No.
Well, she must have gone up to the railing.
I'm gonna go see. She isn't there.
No?
Well, where could she have gone?
The child, where is she?
We don't know.
But she isn't in the dance.
She isn't in the dance.
There are a lot of people. You go look.
I have looked already.
Well, where is she?
Nothing, nowhere.
What is this? Where is your daughter?
They ran away. They ran away. She and Leonardo on the horse. They go embracing each other like a flash.
Oh, it isn't true. Not my daughter.
Yes, your daughter, a offspring of a vile mother. And him too, him. But now she's my son's.
Let's follow. Who has a horse?
A horse? Who has a horse right now? Who has a horse? I'll give them everything I have, my eyes, even my tongue.
Here is one.
Go after them. No, don't go. People kill quickly and well. But yes, run, and I'll follow.
It couldn't be her. Maybe she's thrown herself in the well.
No, honorable women, clean women throw themselves into water. Not that one. But now, she is my son's. 2 factions. Here, there are 2 factions now. My family and yours. Everyone out of here now. Shake this dust from your feet. Now we go and help my son. Because he has people, his cousins from the sea, and all those that came from the inland. Out of here, by every root, the time of blood has come again. 2 factions, you and yours, me with mine. After them, after them.
Have they found them?
No, but they're looking for them everywhere.
They will come across them soon. Shh. What?
It looks like they're getting closer from all the paths at the same time.
When the moon comes out, they will see them.
They ought to leave them alone.
The world's big. Everyone can live in it. Yes.
But one must follow their inclinations. They did well to run away.
They were deceiving each other, but in the end, the blood was stronger. The blood. One must follow the way of the blood.
But blood that sees light is drunk up by the earth.
So what? It's better to be dead and exsanguinated than alive with it rotten.
Be quiet.
What? Do you hear something?
I hear the crickets, the frogs, the night's ambush.
But not the horse.
No.
You'll be loving her now.
Her body was meant for him, and his body for her.
They're looking for them, and they'll kill them.
But their bloods will have already mixed, and they will be like 2 empty jugs, like 2 dried up streams.
There are a lot of clouds. The moon could easily not come out.
The groom will find them with or without moonlight. I saw him go out like a furious star, his face ashen. It expressed the destiny of his lineage.
His lineage of the dead in the middle of the street.
That's it.
Do you think they will be able to break through the circle?
It's tough. There are knives and guns for 10 leagues around.
He has a good horse.
But he has a woman.
We are near now.
A tree with 40 branches. We'll cut it down soon.
The moon is coming out now. Let's hurry. Lo, the moon rises, rays as sharp as knives.
Full of bloody jasmine, picked by ghostly wives.
Watch as the lone moon draws a bright green blade.
Silvering the bride's face, hard and cold as jade.
Oh, sad moon, leave us.
Oh, bad moon, spare us.
Let the dark branches see love.
Let the dark branches love.
A round swan in the river, the lone eye of the cathedrals, a dawn dissembled on the leaves I am. They cannot escape me. Who is hiding? Who is sobbing through the underbrush of the valley? The moon leaves a shining knife abandoned up high in the air, which being an ambush of lead would become a pane of the blood. Let me in. I come frozen through all of your walls and windows. Open up your roofs and your breasts so that I may be warm inside. I am cold. My cinders of somnolent metals always seek the crest of a flame through the streets and over mountains. But the snow carries me away, high on its shoulder of jasper, to be submerged, hard and cold in the water of the deep pools. Tonight I'm going to have the rouge of red blood on my cheeks, and the rushes swept aside by the wide feet of the wind. There must be no shadow, no ambuscade, no method of escape. I want to go into a breast so that I may be warm at last. A heart just for me, burning hot, that will spill over my breast's frozen mountains. Let me come inside. Oh, let me. I want no shadows. My rays must creep inside every crevice and even on the darkest trunks, the murmur of light, so that tonight I can have the rouge of sweet blood on my cheeks and the rushes swept aside by the wide feet of the wind. Who is hiding? Come out, I say. No, you can never get away. I shall make the horse shine a diamond's fevered light.
That moon goes away, and they draw nearer. They go no farther. The murmur of the river with the murmur of trunks will smother the ear-splitting soar of their screams. It must be here, and soon. I am tired. Coffins open, and the white threads of the bedroom floor all await heavy bodies with broken necks. No bird awakens. The breeze gathers up in its skirts their sobs, to take them over black treetops or to bury them in white flax. That moon, that moon, that moon, that moon.
Now they are getting closer, some by the ravine and the others by the river. I am going to light up the stones. What do you need?
Nothing.
The wind comes hard now, double-edged.
Light up the vest and separate the buttons. After that, the knives will know their path.
But let them take a long time to die. Let the blood hiss delicately in my fingers. See my ashen valleys awake, lustful for the warm, spurting flood.
Well, we won't let them get beyond the stream. Shh, silence.
There they come.
Hurry, hurry, lots of light. Did you hear me? They must not get away.
This way.
You won't find them.
I will find them.
I think they went down another trail.
No. A few seconds ago, I heard the gallop.
It must have been another horse.
Listen, there's only one horse in the world, and that is this one. Do you understand? If you follow me, follow without talking.
It's just that I wanted to...
Shut up! I know I'm going to find them here. You see this arm? Well, it's not my arm. It's the arm of my brother and of my father and of all my dead family. It has so much power. It can wrench up this tree by the roots if it wants to. Let's go fast. I can feel the teeth of all my family buried in me here, and it's impossible for me to breathe calmly.
Did you hear?
Go that way and come back around.
This is a hunt.
A hunt. The greatest one that can be undertaken. What do you want?
I'm cold.
Where are you going?
Over there, far away.
Where do you come from?
From there. From very far away.
Have you seen a man and a woman riding horseback?
Wait a minute. Handsome young man. But handsomer still if he were sleeping.
Tell me, answer me, have you seen them?
Wait a minute. What a broad back. How wouldn't you like to be stretched out on it and not walk on the soles of your feet, which are so small?
I asked you, have you seen them? Have they passed by here?
They haven't passed, but they're coming down off the hill. Don't you hear them?
No.
Don't you know the road?
I'll go, come what may.
I'll accompany you. I know these lands.
But let's go. Which way?
That way.
Death enters slowly from the darkened trees. Oh no. No, 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 do not let her near you. Blood will flow with ease. Here as the dry leaves sigh beneath her toes.
Flowers from a wedding from some time ago.
Oh, death, leave us.
Oh, death, leave us.
Let the one green leaves find love.
Let the once green leaves find love.
I will go on alone from here. Leave. I want you to go back.
I said, be quiet.
With your teeth, with your hands as you can, take from my virgin neck the metal of this chain and leave me alone. Forgotten in my home of dry earth. If you care not to kill me like a small poisoned serpent, but put in my hands, newly wedded, the slick barrel of the rifle.
Shh.
Oh, what shame. What a hot flame rushes up to devour my brain. What a glass have I ground in my tongue.
We've taken the step. Be quiet. They're following us tight, and I have to take you with me.
Then it will be by force.
By force? Who was it descended the stairs first?
I descended?
Who was it put the new bridle on the horse?
I did. True.
And what hands then buckled on my shining spurs?
These hands that belong to you, but which, seeing you have wished to break the blue branches and the murmur of your veins. Oh, I love you. I love you. Oh, leave me. For if I could kill you, I would cover you with a throat banged with layers of violets. Oh, what a shame, what a hot flame rushes up to devour my brain.
What glass have I ground on my tongue? Because I wanted to forget. And I built a stone partition between my house and your own. It's the truth, don't you remember? And seeing you at a distance, I throw sand in my eyes. But I rode a horse, and the horse went straight to your door. With pins of silver, my blood turned black, and sleep would stuff in me the bitter flesh of weeds. Because the guilt is not mine. Because the guilt is of the earth, and of that odor that exudes from your chest and your hair.
Oh, what stupidity. I don't want either bed or supper with you. And there's not a minute in the day that I don't long to be with you. Because you drag me, and I come. And you tell me to return, and I follow on the air like a clinching blade of grass. I have left behind a firm man with his lineage all around, in the middle of the wedding with the bridal wreath put on. But the punishment is for you, and I don't want that to happen. Leave me here alone. You run. No one defends you if you stay.
The birds of the early morning are quarreling in the trees. The night is dying now on the cutting edge of a stone. Let's go to some dark corner where I can love you forever. What do people matter to me and the poison that they spout?
And I will sleep by your feet to protect what you dream. Naked, looking to the fields. Like the bitch that I am. For I look at you and your beauty burns me.
But fire extinguishes fire. The same small flame kills two spikes of flowers. Let's go.
Where are you taking me?
Where those men that are getting close will never be able to go. where I alone can look on you.
Take me around to country fairs, the pain of an honest woman, so everybody can see me with the sheets of the marriage bed hung aloft as flags.
I would be glad to leave you two if I thought as people think, but I go where you go, and so with you. Take a step, try. Nails from the moon have fused us, your hips to my waist.
Do you hear?
People are coming.
Run. It's just that I should die here with my feet stuck in the water, with thorns stuck in my mind, and let all the leaves cry for me. A woman lost, maiden.
Be quiet. They are coming.
Run!
Silence, or they will hear us. You in front. Let's go, I say.
Us both together.
Whatever you want. And if they separate us, it's because I am dead.
And I too.
Tangle, tangle, what will you bet?
Born at 4 to die at 10.
Dress of jasmine, tie of gems.
Spinning, spinning into them.
Strand of wool.
Chain at your feet, or a knot to tie the laurel leaves.
Did you go to the wedding?
No.
Neither did I go. What could have happened by the vineyard stalks? What could have happened by the olive boughs? What could have happened since no one's back? Did you go to the wedding?
We said no.
Neither did I.
Red skein, what will you spell?
Only girls in love can tell.
Stretched out on the muted shore.
Lovers, crimson, talk no more.
Run, 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 run. The years, run, the yarn over here, both covered up with mud. They are coming here, bodies stiff and tall, in ivory clothes and all.
Are they coming now?
We don't know.
What news have you of the wedding?
Tell me.
Nothing.
I want to go back to know everything.
You to your house, brave and alone in your house, to grow old and to cry, but with the door closed. Never, not dead or alive. We will nail down the windows and let rains and nights descend on bitter weeds of the garden.
What could have happened?
Doesn't matter. You wear a veil about your face. Your children are your own children. Nothing more. On the bed lay a cross of ashes where his pillow used to be.
A little piece of bread, young girls?
Go away.
Why?
Because you whine. Go away.
Child.
Could have asked for your eyes. A cloud of birds follow me. Do you want one?
I want to go.
Don't pay attention to her.
You come on the road by the stream.
I came from that way.
May I ask?
I saw them. They will soon arrive. Two torrents found final quiet amid the large rocks. Two men on the legs of a horse, dead in the beauty night. Dead. Yes, dead.
Shut up, old hag, shut up.
Broken flowers, their eyes, and their teeth 2 fistfuls of hardened snow. They both fell, and the bride returns with hair, dress, and skirt dripping blood. Covered in 2 blankets they come, on the shoulders of 4 tall boys. That was it. Nothing else. It was just over the flower of gold, dirty sand.
Over the flower of gold.
Dirty sand.
Over the flower of gold, they bring suitors from the river. Darkened the one, darkened the other. A shadow nightingale flies and moans over the flower of gold.
Paula, you're silent.
Is there anybody here? My son ought to answer. But my son is now an armful of dried up flowers. My son is now a dark voice from beyond the mountains. Would you be quiet? I don't want any crying in this house. Your tears are only tears of the eyes. And mine will come when I'm alone, from the soles of my feet, from my roots, and they will be more scorching than blood.
Come to my house. Don't stay here.
Here is where I want to be. And tranquil. Now, they're all dead. At midnight, I will sleep. I will sleep without being terrified by pistols or knives. Other mothers will look out the window with rain beating on their heads to see the faces of their children, not me. I will make a cold ivory dove out of my sleep that will carry camellias of frost to the graveyard. But no, a graveyard. No, a graveyard. No, couch of earth, bed that envelops them and gently rocks them in the sky. Take your hands away from your face. We will be going through terrible days. I don't want to see anybody. The earth and me. My crying and me. And these 4 walls.
Take pity on yourself.
I must be serene. Because the neighbors will come. And I don't want them to see me so poor. So poor. A woman who doesn't even have one son that she can bring to her lips.
Where are you going?
I'm coming here.
Who is that?
Don't you recognize her?
That is why I ask who it is, because I have to not recognize her so that I don't sink my teeth in her neck, viper. You see her? There she is. And she's crying. And I still myself without tearing out her eyes. What's wrong with me? Did I not love my son? But, and her honor? Where is her precious honor?
Oh, for God's sake.
Let her. I came here for her to kill me so that they could take me with them. But not with your hands. with prongs of wire, with a sickle and with force until it breaks on my bones. Let her. I want her to know that I'm clean, that I may be crazy, but that they can bury me without a man ever having seen himself in the witness of my breasts.
Shut up. Shut up. What does that matter to me?
Because I ran away with the other one. I ran. You too would have run. I was a woman burned, full of scars inside and out, and your son was a little pool of water that I wanted children from. Land, health. The other one was a dark river full of branches that brought to me the murmur of these rushes and this mumbling song. And I ran to your son, who was like a child of fresh water, and the other one sent to me hundreds of birds that embedded my going and put frost in my wounds of withering woman, wounds of a girl caressed by the flames. I did not want it. Listen to me. I did not want it. Listen to me. I did not want it. Your son was my end, and I have not deceived him. But the other one's arm dragged me after him like a tidal wave, like the headbutt of a mule, and would have dragged me always, 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 even if I were old and all of your son's children had clutched me by the hair.
She's not to blame. Nor am I. Who's to blame then? Loose, delicate, restless woman is the one who throws away her wedding wreath to seek the corner of a bed warmed by another woman.
Stop it! Be quiet! Take your revenge on me! Here I am! Look how soft my neck is! It will cost you less effort than clipping a dahlia from your garden. But not that. My honor I have, as much as when I was born, and strength enough to prove it. Light the lamps. Let's put our hands to the fire. You for your son, me for my body. You will withdraw yours first.
But what do I care about your honor? What do I care about your death? What do I care about anything at all? Blessed be the grains, because my son is below them. Blessed be the rain, because it dampens the dead ones' faces. Blessed be God, who stretches us all out together to rest.
Let me cry with you.
Cry, but at the door.
The rider, once so beautiful, was now only a mound of snow. He rode through fairs and mountains and through the warm arms of women. Now the dark moss of night puts a crown upon his head.
Sunflower of your mother, mirror of the earth, may they place upon your chest a cross of bitter rose bay. May a white sheet cover you with resplendent silk. And may water produce a cry between your motionless hands.
What 4 tall boys return with shoulders slumped and tired?
What 4 handsome young men come with death in the breezes?
Neighbors.
They're bringing them now.
It's all the same. The cross. The cross.
Sweet are the nails, sweet is the cross, sweet is the name of Jesus.
May the cross shelter the dead and the living.
Neighbors, with a knife, with a tiny knife, on the appointed day, between 2 and 3, the 2 men of love murdered each other with a knife, with a tiny knife that barely fits in the hand, but penetrates sharp through astonished flesh, and there it sits in the place where, astonished, trembles the cry's dark root.
This is the knife, tiny knife that barely fits in the hand, fish without scales in the sand, so that on the appointed day between 2 and 3, with this little knife 2 men were left hard, with lips like yellow land.
It scarcely sits in the hand, but penetrates cold through the startled flesh. And there it sits in the place where, astonished, trembles the cry's dark root.
So if everyone is crying at the end, does it mean that the play has worked?
Ideally.
You may be right. It is a lovely job, Eduardo. Really
Thank
lovely
you.
job.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And good job, all of you. That was a great reading.
I think, well, now we've had a first reading, we should actually start rehearsing it.
Good idea.
Live
Yeah.
theater. Woo!
Anyway, thank you very much, everybody, especially Eduardo, of course, but thank you all of you for your time and your talent. It's quite something, isn't it? It's 2 different plays, but somehow they work together, you know, for acts 1 and 2 and then act 3.
Yeah, it's really it's the Hatfields and the McCoys. You know, it's a story that keeps being told over and over in every culture. I think every culture has this story.
You mean 2 households, both alike in dignity, in
Yeah, them.
fair Espanol.
Yeah. Oh, well, that was fun. I apologize for my tardiness at the very beginning. I was having a minor emergency here, so, but all is
Listen, don't worry
resolved.
about it. We got through in the time allotted, and that's it. Paul, did you enjoy your first time with Lorca?
Yes, I did very much. Thank you all so much. Excellent job, and Eduardo, wow, it's terrific. Thank you so much. It's such a great. It's really, I mean, because there is a sense where that life is so crazy, you know, that you have the reality and then you have the fantastical elements, and somehow that doesn't seem like that's that far away from life. So,
Yeah.
but thank you all. Yeah, I mean, I guess I need to find out more about this. These guys, yeah.
Something
Well, plenty more in the Spanish theatrical literature.
Yeah. It was great watching y'all do the reading. It was y'all were great. It was so fun. You brought so much life to the characters.
The translation was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having
It was
me.
nice. It read well. It really was easy to read.
Yes. Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Well,
All right.
thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see you all again soon, hopefully.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yes,
y'all.
yes.
Thank you,
Thank you
Paul.
all.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Adios.
Next,
Okay.
Adieu.
Bye-bye.
goodbye.
Bye.
I just want to say for the next ISC readings will be next weekend. We have a Moliere School for Wives on Saturday at 1 and on Zoom, of course. And on Sunday, we'll have the Irish Tea Party.